Okay, so what I've done is I've recreated my design showing contrast on a piece of white paper, and this is the same design that I've used to print. So it's a little bit of a challenge to repeat exactly what you did. You have to do it again and try to line it up all in the same spots. So I did my best here, and then you want to go over your pencil marks with black paint. So you want a fairly thin brush and some black paint, and this is just going to be our outline. So we want to think of it kind of like how we often outline with permanent marker on our drawings and paintings, kind of like that, except this time we're using actual paint. And it's okay if your lines are a little uneven, that's just natural when we paint. The goal is not to just make them extremely uneven. My black paint has dried, and now I have a little chart in front of me that you will have, and it's going over color harmonies and color schemes. So we'll talk about these beforehand so you understand a bit more. So you want to pick one of these color schemes, and you want to paint this in following one of these. Okay, so you have your choice: complementary, split complementary, analogous, triad, warm colors, cool colors, or warm and cool colors. Okay, so we're not really going to do this last one, but it's there just so you know it, and we're not really going to do the monochromatic, but again, it is there so you know it. So I think I'm going to do a triad harmony. Alright, so my triadic color scheme, I actually had to write it down so I could remember. So it's blue, green, red, violet, yellow, orange, and that makes a triangle. So this is what I based it on. This one is showing you violet, orange, and green. And when you do a triad harmony, it is 1, 2, 3. So every 4 colors essentially is what you would choose, okay? And so, like with analogous, it doesn't have to be the one shown on this chart. You can flip these 3 and do different ones. So you could do red, violet, violet, blue, violet instead. Here they're showing you yellow, yellow, orange, and orange. Okay, so I have mine. So all mine are intermediate or tertiary colors. That means I'm going to have to do some color mixing. So you're going to get your basic colors in a tray. And if yours are the basic colors, then you're fine. You don't have to mix, but I have to mix. So I'm going to start here with some blue-green. So that means I'm going to take both of those colors, put them on a type of paint palette. I'm just using scrap paper, so here I'm putting green down. I'm going to rinse my brush, and I'm going to grab some blue, and I'm going to do swirls, and you want to make sure it's completely even. You don't want it to be streaky, and this is creating a lovely blue-green color. Alright, and then you simply want to decide where on your paper do you want to show that blue-green, or whatever color you're picking, and just begin painting. When you paint, remember, always drag your paintbrush. Please don't ever push it. So you either pull it up like this or drag it towards you like this. And a good painter knows how to smooth out their paint. So anytime you get globs or thick strokes, try your best to go over that and smooth it out, because that really makes your craftsmanship go up to another level when you take the time to smooth. So I've done my blue-green. I'm happy with that, so now I'm going to move on to one of my other colors, which I wrote down is red-violet. So I'm just simply going to do that same thing, except now I'm choosing new colors. So I'm going to put some violet on my palette, rinse, and then grab some red. and choose where I want my red violet on my design. You're going to notice as you paint that some of your paint is going over the black, which is fine, just don't have it go over too much. You can always go back at the very end with black and put it on top again to make it come back to life. Yes, that is another step, but it's always a step that is worth it. Remember, we take our time, and if we have to put in the effort, we do. That's what makes good art. We don't get lazy about it. Remember, don't stop till you're proud. Alright, my last color is yellow-orange, so you should know what I'm about to do by now. I'm going to take some yellow, I'm going to take some orange, I'm going to mix them together, and then fill in the rest of the spots that I want to fill in. Okay, so I have finished painting in my large painting here using my color harmony, the triadic color harmony, and now what I'm doing is I'm going to incorporate my prints into this, but I want it all to tie in. So we're going to glue our print onto this little piece of white paper, but I want to paint the frame part of the white paper. So before we do that, you're going to just use the same colors you used in your big painting. So I have red, violet, blue, green, and yellow, orange, and you just want to go around the edges and do a simple design. So I'm just doing chunks of color, so there I put in my blue, green, next I'll do maybe yellow, orange, fill in the middle. And since you're gluing your print on the middle of this paper, you don't have to paint the entire paper. So just a kind of a simple frame, just make sure you go in deep enough, meaning inwards or down, so we don't see that white paper once the print is glued on. Okay, so you simply let that dry, and once it's dry, you will put some glue on the back of your print and you will mount it. So here's what I've already done. It'll look something like this, and then that ties in nicely. Now everything kind of matches together with our print and our painting, so I have all the same kind of color palette. And then from here we simply arrange it all, mount it. Okay, so I have all my pieces together, so now it's my decision on how to arrange all these. So I'm going to give you guys some options. You can get a large sheet of black paper and you can simply just align them and present it like that. Or you can kind of play with your design. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm actually going to mount my big painting on a smaller sheet of black paper. So I'm just going to flip this over, put a frame of glue around it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put these on top and kind of make it more of an art piece in and of itself. So the whole thing will tie in together. And the way I want to do that is I want to make these a relief, so that means they will be popping up. So you could just glue them straight down, but I want mine to kind of be raised a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm taking little pieces of cardboard and I'm going to glue those down. So I'm going to glue it to the back of my print, like that, and then I'll set it where I want it. So first I'm going to put the cardboard on before I do any of the gluing on the actual paper, because I'm not sure where exactly I want them. I have to visualize it and see it come together first. You can work vertically this way, or if your design, if you like it more horizontal, you can make it more horizontal. It's up to you. So I'm going to kind of play with some ideas here and what I want this to look like. Okay, so I think I like this design. So I'm going to put some glue just on the cardboard because that's the only part that's going to be touching the actual painting. And the reason why I'm having it come off is so it kind of adds more dimension to it and it's not blocking all of the work that I did on the painting here. Okay, so I'm all finished here. I'm done with my printmaking assignment, subtractive printmaking, and my color harmony painting, and now I've just arranged it all into a very interesting piece of art.